From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the Hourly News Blast. LGBTQ Nation is reporting Transgender New Hampshire State Representative Alice Wade, a Democrat, today accused Democratic Socialist U.S. House candidate Heath Howard of pressuring her to drop out of her race because he believed her trans identity would spoil her chances. He initially denied all wrongdoing, but later admitted to making comments about her gender. Last year, a fellow state representative and someone I considered a close friend called me repeatedly telling me not to run for Congress. New Hampshire Representative Alice Wade, the Democrat, wrote in a public Facebook post. He told me our friendship would be over if I stayed in the race. He questioned my integrity. He tried persuading me with promises of future political support if I stepped aside. And, perhaps most painfully, he told me that because I'm an openly transgender woman, I have stood no chance of winning higher office in New Hampshire. That person was New Hampshire State Representative Heath Howard, also a Democrat. Wade alleged that after announcing her candidacy for Congress, Howard tried various methods between June and September 2025 to get Wade to drop out of the race, including offering support for other elected positions and telling me people were talking bad about me behind my back, she wrote. Coming from anyone, those comments would be painful, Wade wrote. Coming from someone who publicly stood beside me opposing anti-trans legislation, they felt like a profound betrayal. Eventually, it worked, she continued. I'd been exhausted by the hostility that comes with being an openly trans woman in public life, and by the private pressure convincing me my identity would only be a burden on the ticket. For nearly a year, I hope this was some misunderstanding, Wade added, but recently when I confronted Heath about everything, he acknowledged that the pressure, including what he said about my identity, had been deliberate. He said I was the bigger person for not doing the same to him. That conversation confirmed what I'd spent months trying not to believe. Howard told New Hampshire Journal, I did not say that in an email on Monday when reporters asked about Wade's allegations. I endorsed her in her contested primary election. We have co-sponsored legislation together, and I considered her to be a friend and ally, Howard wrote. It's saddening and disappointing to see, she said, politics turn people's lives and livelihoods into a form of reality entertainment, dragging us further and further from legislative changes that would benefit not only LGBTQ plus individuals, but society as a whole. However, on Tuesday, progressive activist Melody Knapp publicly revoked her endorsement of Howard in a public Facebook post that seemed to back up Wade's allegations. In my interactions with Heath, I was directly lied to multiple times. I also experienced what I viewed as manipulative behavior, including repeated efforts to pressure people behind the scenes, Knapp wrote. I've also heard accounts from people I know and trust that Heath made comments suggesting another candidate couldn't win because they are trans. If those accounts are accurate, I find those remarks completely unacceptable and incompatible with the kind of movement I want to be part of. By Tuesday afternoon, Howard told WMUR that he had made remarks about Wade's identity. Intent and impact are different things, he said. It was never my intent to reduce Alice's candidacy to her identity, but I recognize that my words caused unintended harm, and I sincerely apologize. I endorsed Alice in her contested 2024 primary, and I'm proud of my voting record on LGBTQ plus issues in the New Hampshire House, he continued. This is especially painful because I believed we had already worked through our differences, and I genuinely mourned the loss of that friendship. To the trans community, I remain committed to earning your trust through my actions and continuing to fight for your rights, he added. My focus remains on advancing meaningful legislation that improves the lives of LGBTQ plus people and all Granite Staters. Howard served as vice chair of New Hampshire House Progressive Caucus, but was unceremoniously removed amid internal conflicts, New Hampshire Journal reported. In January, WMUR revealed private text messages showing Howard telling them, a gubernatorial candidate, John Kuiper, that Democrats keep losing because the party is run by women who don't support cis white men. A recent St. Anselm College Survey Center poll showed Howard with 9% of voter support, behind two of his lead competitors who individually got 15% and 22%. Howard's primary election is September 8th. That's a news blast at this hour. PEP Radio is available on the Live 365 app, the homepage at paequality.com, Roku, Alexa, and wherever you find streaming radio. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.